Welcome to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast, the podcast where we make 5-minute decisions that can change your business, your relationships, and your life. Hey, this is Dean Soto, founder of prosulum.com, prosulum.com, and we're here. Today's topic is this. Do not be a one-dimensional douchebag. That and more coming up. Oh my gosh, did I just say a naughty word? I don't know if that's considered explicit. I might have to make this podcast explicit. I don't know. But yeah, a little shocker there, huh? Well, there is a reason for that word, I promise. And it's actually a very good reason, because a lot of men fall for this particular thing. So I'm not sure how much I've shared with you already, but I'm doing this thing called the Kingdom Challenge. It's part of this Wake Up Warrior community thing. I talk about Wake Up Warrior a lot, mainly because it's really affected my life in such an amazing way. It's absolutely wonderful. And so I did this Warrior Week. I did Warrior Week, and then I did the Kingdom Challenge. I'm doing that right now. It's a 90-day challenge. And one thing that came from it was a really cool little, a really cool assessment. The assessment is called the Have It All Wheel. And essentially, the coach that's part of the program, the coach walks you through several yes or no questions. And so I get on the phone call with this coach, and he gets everything started. He said, okay, so you just have to answer simple yes or no to these questions. And he starts asking these questions, and some of them are very personal, some of them are not. Some of them are things like, do you know your nutritional needs? Do you pray at least once a day? Do you meditate at least 10 minutes a day? And he goes through this litany of things. And sometimes I would answer, I'd be like, yes, no, or I would say, well, I used to, or whatever, but the big thing is to be present. To what are you doing now? And so we went through this litany of things, and I went into the Kingdom Challenge. I went into the whole Wake Up Warrior thing and everything with the idea that before I even go into that, the whole idea of this Have It All Wheel assessment is to essentially determine where you are most lacking. And once you find where you're most lacking, when you concentrate on that, it'll actually make everything else that you're doing much more powerful, right? And so I go in there thinking that I suck at business, and that I'm okay with my body, like the fitness and my nutritional needs. I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with my family, or doing well with my family and things like that. And it's interesting because the thing that I was the lowest at was my body, right? My body, my fitness, my fuel, knowing what exercises I should do, how often I should exercise, am I actually exercising enough? Am I eating the right foods, drinking the right drinks, and what am I doing, right? What am I actually accomplishing? Well, that was a kind of a shocker, because I thought that I sucked at business. And here I am with a business podcast. Here I am as a business consultant. Here I am with these virtual assistants that help businesses. And internally, I'm thinking, oh, I suck at business. And we all do that, right? We all think a lot of us, I should say, are very self-deprecating. We think more negative things about ourselves than positive. And so I'm going, and I see this Have It All wheel about a few days later with my coach, and he's basically says, what do you see? And I see that I am the lowest in body. And there's this huge gap of things that I could fix, that if I just focused on my body and I focused on my family, which was the second lowest, that I would magnify everything else. And at first I'm thinking, what? There's no way. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Really? Well, so he says, what do you see? And I respond to him and I said, well, that's not exactly what I expected. And what I'm seeing is that if I focus on my body and I focus on getting fit and I focus on eating the right things and doing all of the stuff that I should do with my body, that I will actually do way better with everything else as well. And he responds saying, you and I are very similar. You and I both have very negative thoughts about ourselves when it comes to business, when it comes to the things that we're actually good at. And you don't realize it, but you are effing good. And he didn't say effing, he said the other word. He said, you are effing good at business. You are absolutely amazing at business. Where you're lacking is your body and your family. And the reality is that you feel the way you do. You are so self-deprecating because those things are out of line. And if you focus on those two things, man, you are going to crush it. You're absolutely going to crush it. And so, it was completely unexpected. But over the last few days, with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right now I actually have a strap around me because I'm weed whacking about 5 acres of land, five or so acres of my land. And just being physical. I've been physical the last few days, if not few weeks. And things have been absolutely amazing, growing. Even my wife thinks I'm sexier, which is always good. But my business is doing better. So many things are going much more smoothly because of this change. Because of this focus on the things that I had lacked. Things that I completely was blind to. And so in the Wake Up Warrior community with Coach Garrett, the head of Wake Up Warrior, he has a saying of don't be a one-dimensional douchebag. You could be, a lot of us are super, super spiritual, but we suck at business. Or we suck at being with our family. Or we suck at working out. I can't count how many times that I meet someone who's super, super spiritual. They know I'll meet another Catholic who's totally devout, knows so much when it comes to apologetics and things like that, but they're overweight, way overweight. Not saying that I'm not or was not. And they can barely do anything with their family. And they're not attractive to anybody to even evangelize or anything like that. They look nerdy. Or someone is super, super fit, but they are completely shallow and vapid when it comes to knowing who they are or who God is or anything like that. Or they suck at business. Like they spend all their money looking great, looking fit, but they still have a minimum wage job and they're 40 years old. Right? You don't want to be that one-dimensional douchebag where you're really, really good at something, one thing, but everything else is suffering. And that's the thing that is most important in this. Where are you right now when it comes to your body, when it comes to your spirituality, when it comes to your family, when it comes to business? If you lost your job right now, could you very quickly get another one or start a business? If you own a business right now, could you leave that business for a week and spend time with your family any week you want at absolutely any time? Could you leave for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months? Can you work from anywhere for a year? Go live in Thailand for a year and still run your business. If you own a business, do you spend time with your family? Do you spend time working out? Are you able to have that time? If you're a stay-at-home mom or if you're a stay-at-home dad, do you have business skills? Do you use the time to work out? Do you lead your family spiritually? Like, these are all the things that we tend to be really, really, really good at one thing or two things, and we suck at the rest. It's those other 2 things or 3 things that if we focus will make a big difference in the rest of everything else that we're doing. And so, what I want you to consider this week is just analyzing where are your strengths and where are your weaknesses. Where are the things that you spend the most time and the things you're good at and the things that you're lacking. And make a choice to focus on one thing that you're lacking on, out of whether it's your body, whether it's your spirituality, your family, or your business side of things. And don't be one-dimensional. Avoid the trap of being a one-dimensional douchebag. All right, this is Dean with prosulum.com, prosulum.com. If you own a business and you want to be able to go and do whatever you want, whenever you want, go check out prosulum.com and get yourself a systems virtual assistant that can take everything off of your hands. And until next time, I will see you in the next Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast episode.